Yo, respect bars and demand. This is Rukus, aka Rocker Dyer, aka Rock the Rapper. Rapper, producer, DJ, magician. That's what I do. So basically I've been in the game for a while. I'm an old school brother. I wouldn't say old school as some people, but like I think for the people that probably watch and you know the new generation, I'm an old school brother. I've been in the game from 2004, but before that I've been rapping, but came onto the scene, had my first single produced by Baby J, which was What She Said. The B-side was Let It Go, and I did the remix of Let It Go, which featured Kalashnikov, Ty and Yogi, and at that time heavyweights in the game, still are heavyweights in the game. And that kind of launched me onto the scene. The tune took over the UK, and up to this day still a UK anthem and a hip hop anthem, and definitely feel proud about that song. After that, did a couple other bits and pieces. Did Hustle Every Day with Def One, which was another anthem. Did What She's Don't You Have a Word, and again a few other stuff, remixes all over. I mean, I don't want to go too deep on that, but the pedigree's there really. And been on tour, did the Mark Ronson tour, did the Jay-Z tour off the back of doing the remix of Amy Winehouse and Mark Ronson's Valerie. I start the tune, and enough people don't really know it's me, but the bashment part of it, they don't know the reason why. That's me basically. So we ended up going on tour with that, sold over 400,000. I got a gold plaque in my house. So yeah, really just been doing this thing. And then now the new movement, which is not new, I've always been doing that movement, was the band. So last year we entered a competition called Must Be The Music, which Dizzy Rascal, Jamie Cullum and Charlene Spiteri. For those that don't know, Charlene Spiteri, she's from Texas back in the day. She did a tune with Method Man though, a while back, long things, but boom. We did that kind of show, we entered that show, got to the last 15 out of a few thousand people, so it was in the last 15. So technically, we're classed as the top 15 band in the whole of the UK, and that's like a hip-hop, R&B band with the Trinity band, which is me, myself, Dwayne Hayden, James on drums, Craig on keys and Pete on bass. We've been touring all of last year, still working this year, still doing more stuff. We had a single that we released on the back of the programme, which entered the top 100 UK charts, got to number 44 in the iTunes pop charts. So wow, that's what it is. There's many more. Entourage, Shady Yogi, you know about that. Boom, Trinity family, Trinity warriors, the whole Trinity movement. That's like something that I sparked off and started. Well, how that came about, like me and him didn't actually physically go in studio. So it was a case where he heard I wanted him to get on the track, or wanted to do a track. Kalashnikov was, when I was coming up, Kalashnikov was one of my favourite rappers, and he kind of stood for the stuff that I stood for, which is I'm a real brother. I'm from a real ghetto, real hood. You get me? Handsworth, Birmingham. That's where we born and grow. But still got sense, you get me? Militant but righteous, you get me? That's the kind of movement that I'm on, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a sensible brother, but I'm still a real dude. But and he kind of personified that for me with what he was talking about, you know what I mean? He taught sense, the stuff that he was spitting in his bars, but still gave it to you real, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, he came down to Derby to do a show, and Jay Huddard, and said, boom, he liked the track because he had heard the track, and he was like, I really like the track as well, so he wanted to jump on it. And it was a blessing from there. Like, I give thanks and praises to man like Clash, because them things are not happening nowadays, you know. You're not getting like heavyweights in the game co-signing newbies or people that are just coming in. And I had three of the heaviest co-signs, you know what I mean? Kalashnikov and Ty were completely different spectrums of what they do, you know what I mean? Kalashnikov is a different type of rapper than your Ty, but they were still heavyweights in the game. So for them to jump on a remix on my track, which was my first track, meant that they were co-signing me and giving me, you know, telling their fans and their people that respected them, like, check this geezer out. And I respect them for that, because without that I probably wouldn't be as well known as I am. Everybody, you know, everyone that's making movements, like the whole fam, there's loads, you get me? Like, if I'm gonna be real, you got your old schools, like, you know, when I was coming up, it was all about MSI, Do you know what I mean? MSI they were the first group I even seen from the UK have a video on MTV before it was a big thing. Do you know what I mean? Then you had MD7, which out of that you got Cypher, you got Jawar, you got Malik's doing his thing now and still doing his thing. You get me? So you know what I mean. But you got people like the Royalists. You got people like S Squad doing it one night. That's why, you know what I mean. So there's a huge movement right now in terms of what's happening. But Birmingham's always had its own scene, and it's been insular. So you could be big in Birmingham, but nobody knows you outside of Birmingham. But there's been low key family. There's loads of different artists that are representing Slash. You got Blood Brothers. I'm going old school because I'm an old school brother. I might look young in the face, but I'm an old school brother. But there's a new wave of artists that are coming through, and they're very serious. You know what I mean? A lot of grime artists coming through as well. If I was to say I named one particular person that I'm really feeling, I'm feeling the full movement of Brum and the Midlands movement, because that's really where, even though I live in Derby and I got love for Derby, that's where I was born and grow. So you know what I mean. Bagger projects really at the moment, what I want to do is highlight the previous projects that people probably never even got to even know. I did a few mixtapes with DJ Ames, which is one of the maybe people don't even know, but Google DJ Ames is probably one of the biggest DJs in the UK, and he does mixtapes. It's like a DJ drama, or you know what I mean, of the UK, you know what I mean. And last year I got a track placed on the DJ drama DJ Ames mixtape, which was good because that gave me a little love from America. I did 2 mixtapes, Back Like I Never Left and Never Left But I'm Back. And they're down for download. If you Google it, you can find them. So there's like a bag of tunes there. I also did a mixtape just before that, which was called 2000 of Mine, which in 2009. Reason why I'm saying these things is because a lot of people probably slept on the fact that, you know, because to be real with you, I haven't been the greatest with promotion, so they're out there. So there's enough tracks. We've got another one coming, the third installment of the Never Left But I'm Back series with DJ Ames that's coming. Like hopefully I should have that dropping by March, April. Basically got this year I'm trying to pepper the scene in terms of visual. So like people know the voice, people know the name, but like I want them to see me more. Do you know what I mean? Not just on the TV, do you know what I mean? And doing that, because that's a completely different movement. I want them to know that I got bars and I'm still relevant, because at the end of the day, I took a couple of years out. When I say out, I didn't take it out, I still make music. It's just that there's another generation that's come in, and I had to find out where I fit in that scene, do you know what I mean? And what I can do to make sure, but we're still here, we still got bars and we're still relevant, we still got something to say. So this year you're going to see bare things coming. The next thing that you're going to see coming is the hood video for Rise, which is me and One Eye from Esquire from Birmingham. Wordham Road, shut down.
Someone notice I ain't one for the talking. Moving my ones and I maneuver real smart king. No long and I've been up from morning. I've heard the birds, I've seen the milkman passing. But this is not a movie, this is no casting. It ain't Ramadan but my beats are still fasting.
Shut that a couple of weeks ago, and that's the first thing that's dropping this year. And I just want to give music, because I got that much music. I'm not even trying to sell music, I'm just trying to make people understand. And the people are going to tell me whether it's necessary for me to put out a full album or something like that, because the real truth of the matter is, if there's no buzz about you, I see people going, now I got an album coming out. But if no one wants to hear your album, he doesn't care, no one cares, you know what I mean? There's so many people doing this thing that you've got to create a buzz. So I respect all the people that are working hard. It doesn't matter whether you're the greatest rapper or the greatest lyricist, the greatest wordsmith. I don't business. As long as you're putting the work in and I can see the work, then I'm fully behind it. So I hope that bands will get fully behind what we're trying to do this year, because the movement is strong. Trinity, naughty ones, understand what that is. Don't get it twisted. Yeah? Alright. I'm a well-read man, you know what I mean? Like, I've grown up in a household whereby that was a necessity. Knowledge was always, knowledge is important, knowledge is the key, knowledge is power, you know what I mean? And the people around me know how I stay. My whole talk and everything is, there's a lot of hype about certain things. For me to really kick in and go into some deepness right now, it's going to be long. But I'm going to say to you, there's enough stuff that we don't know that's going on. When I say you don't know, it's there. The fact of the matter is, I've got a track called True Lies, and it explains certain things in there where I'm trying to talk to people, saying, which I've always done even though I'm rapping, I've always put certain things in my tracks, messages to say to people. Research, if you hear something, don't just take it on like, oh, the Illuminati rep. Do your research. Go on the internet, Google. If you Google a word, you will find millions of results back. Do your reading and go, because there are some fraff. There is fraff out there. There's a lot of people talking this and that, and they don't know what they're talking about. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, there is secret societies. There is all this. There's always been them. You know what I mean? It's nothing new. Yeah, but in the context of what people are saying, what's going off, it's not strictly as what people are saying. They're just rolling with what people are saying. Do your research and know what's really going on. And if otherwise than that, then check my bars, check my music, for real. To get me. But yeah. Just know yourself out here, you get me? And understand that there's a bigger things happening than what you believe just in your hood and in your streets, you get me? Last words is just for any you out there that's on this thing, innit? Like, don't work hard, innit? Whatever you put in, you're gonna get out, do you know what I mean? And that's as real as it is, you know what I mean? Don't give everything and expect nothing, you know what I mean? Don't get caught up in hype. Don't get caught up in all this, like, I want to be a star and I want to be famous and I want money. Like, if you're doing it for money, you're never going to make it. You know what I mean? Like, I've been doing this thing from I was knee high. You know what I mean? And if I tell you my age now, like, people who know me, know how long. And my passion has always remained, and the motivation for what I do is on a deeper level. So I say with anybody, keep working hard. I can honestly tell you that it does pay off, because there's certain things that I've done which I never believed I'd do. From you that's in the streets and hands were thinking like, yo, I'm going to be on tour, I'm going to be on the same bill as Jay-Z, I'm going to be on stages in front of 8,000, 9,000 people. I've travelled to America, I've gone to Dubai, I've gone to different parts of the world and heard them sing my song. You know what I mean? So that shows you the power of what you're saying and the power of words. So don't play with that shit, do you know what I mean? And understand, yeah, naughty ones. Don't get it twisted, overstand what I'm trying to say. You get me? Trinity and Tawad.